coffee and getting everything set up. I always like to kind of do that at the beginning of the live stream because when I first turn the camera on, there's nobody looking. Ain't none of y'all here yet. So I'm gonna go about my routine of getting ready, getting comfortable, and y'all are, you guys that are regular viewers, like, you know the situation that's going on. Turn this on. Turn this on. Grab this. This. Needs more water. It needs more water. Let's see. All right. Need to turn the volume down. Who is that here? I need to get my glasses. Somebody talking to me already, and I didn't have my glasses on. Is that Pogie? Pogie, is that you? Where did I put my? Oh, there's my glasses. Need my glasses to find my glasses. Yeah, that's Pogie. Oh, and Labrina Mix Vlog. Hey, Labrina. Pogie, yes, sir. Good evening, Poe. So Ray in the house. How are you? Doing good, Pogie. Fixing to make some coffee as soon as I get enough water, the water situation figured out. How's the whole day? Yes, sir. I am. All right. Today was all right. I didn't really get a lot accomplished today. I did earlier. I washed my hat. I'll show you in a minute, but that's why I'm wearing a different hat. I don't know if you can, let's see if I get over here, if you can see over there in the distance, the hat's hanging up, drying. Had to do a little hat maintenance, folks. Where is it still? It says it still needs water. How much water does this thing need? I only drink a cup, so I should be able to. Labrina said, "Where are you now, Sir Ray?" I'm in Tagaytay. That's where I live, Labrina. No, Poe, I haven't cooked any dinner. I am still. Why is this not starting? Come on. Oh, because I got to do this. Do this again. All right, there we go. Now we got some coffee happening. That light might be too bright. I don't know. What do you think? Let me see. Let's see how that light does. That light lighten up my face, Pogue? Huh? I know you know you're the judge of poginess. Does that lighting accentuate all of this? I need to know, Pogue. I need to know if the light is accentuating. As usual, Sir Ray, the whole day is raining until now. Flooding some other area in city and provinces. Yeah, it hasn't really been raining much here. It's been kind of misty. I guess we can take you to the window. Let's go over here. Let's go over here, see some stuff. But yeah, it's been, you know, like foggy, and there's like some mist. Well, There's like some moisture in the air, but it's not really raining. And then, so yeah, let me bring it over here. We'll come over here. See, there's, there's, there's my hat. It's, it's, it's drying. I got the electric fan blowing on it to get it dry. Had to give it a little washing. I'll give you a little tour, a little knickknacks. It's still kind of messy. My shoes. I've showed y'all all this before. But now my shower doesn't have clothes hanging in there anymore. That's where I was doing my wash dancing. But all right. I think I heard my coffee get done, so we'll come back over here, get that coffee ready. What do you think? I think that sounds like a splendid idea. Let me see what you're talking about. Let's see. Oh, wait. Where are we at? All right. All right, Rena's here. Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Hey, Rena. How are things in India? Geno's. That's my Pogi and Cebu. My Pogi and Cebu is Gino. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Oh, is it chilly there in Cebu? Rena is a like done. I appreciate you, Rena. James on his second cup of coffee. I'm still working on my first. Pogi is being my cheerleader. Like and subscribe. Rena, how are you, sir? Rena, I'm doing good. You know, I didn't get a whole lot done today, but I got a few things done, and you know, I feel pretty good about it. Go Rubs here. Shout out Go Rub, Angela Tesh Mix Vlogs, and you guys already know. If you're not subscribed to any of the people that, especially all the people in blue, I believe, have a channel. And you should subscribe to them and support their channels. They're all good people, and like I'm a big believer in supporting everybody. All right, everybody's saying hello to everybody. Rena said, I support Logo Pogi. Okay, that's awesome. And wait a minute, let me see. I might have to scroll down. Geno's, Gino, you don't have, wait, hold on, Geno's. Give me a second. Wait. Just think. I always have a hard time with this. Let me stop this from following so I can do some things here. There, Gino. You should be in blue now, Gino, so everybody, anybody that can subscribe to you. Pogi about to give us a history lesson. Cebu is the Spanish territory. Once upon a time, Magellan was first arrived in Cebu. That's why Cebu has a Magellan cross. Okay, that's good to know, Gino. Pogi, that's Pogi's history lesson. All right, you stay there. I'm going to get my coffee. I'm gonna need this too. All right, you got me. What are you doing? Why are you being weird? Why are you being weird? Come over here. I still need to do my cream and sugar thing. I don't want to hear nothing, James, about me putting cream and sugar in my coffee, but that's how I like it. That's how I like it. So what has everybody been up to today? Anything exciting happen in anybody's life? I'm gonna, in a little bit when I get all settled in, I plan on telling y'all some stories about my life. Because I don't know if y'all feel the same way that I do, but I feel that I've led a pretty interesting life, and definitely have some stories. And let's see, let's see. Okay, coffee time and coffee break. Coffee is life. Sir, 2 minute, please. All right, yeah, take your time, Marina. Don Macchiato versus Starbucks. I don't think I've ever had Don Macchiato. Is that like a chain that's there in Cebu? Pogi said, much better you have a Filipino colleague for your daily life, Saray. Well, Pogi, I'm not in a hurry. Not in a hurry, Pogi. Um, uh, it'll happen when it happens. I'm out of cigarettes, so I'm back to vaping. So for now, no more smoking. But let's see how many people we got in here. Next time, let's see, we get it. I'll wait whenever I don't know how many people got to get it up in here, but whenever I get to 20 likes, then I'm gonna tell the story of the one time that I was a male stripper. So that's the goal. 20 likes, and then I'm gonna tell the story. But until then, let's talk about something else. Wait, what happened? Oh, we're up to 7. So, so I know that. Wait, what happened? What? Everything's being weird today. Everything's being weird today, including this guy. I'm always weird, but you guys that have been, watching my live streams, you already know that. Like, if there's people, I know that there's people that just watch my videos, like my informational videos, and they have no idea what a weirdo I am, because I don't, show that side, in my videos, because they're meant to be serious and giving information and all that. That window rattling. I need to go close that. Wind's blowing a little bit. Let me get that window closed so it'll stop rattling. All right. What was I talking about? Yeah, we're not getting a lot of. I'm gonna sit back and relax. I'm gonna wait for y'all to come up with something to talk about until we get to 20 likes, because I'm not telling the story until that happens. I'm just gonna sit here and sip on Hello Kitty and just look gorgeous. Wait for some people to show up. I know more people might be coming. It takes a little while before the live stream really kicks off. Like yesterday, man, after about the first 30 minutes or so, it kicked off. There was some serious debate going on. We touched on religion, and what else did we talk about yesterday? I don't know, but we almost went from religion to racism, and I wasn't having that. That's like, you know, one controversial issue per live stream is enough. Um, I'm more chill and laid back, and I'm no expert on religion or anything like that. So I don't like to get too involved in subjects that I can't speak on. Let's see. All right. Pogi said, Filipino wife is very caring, family oriented, loving woman, polite, and respected as a housewife or being a professional. It's good to settle your life with a Filipina. You're in good hands, I just suggest. Yeah, Pogi, I've always been a firm proponent that Filipinos are awesome. Um, Also, I've been a proponent that when someone moves to the Philippines, or for that matter, any country, and like the culture is completely different than what they knew, um, that it's also a good idea to take a little bit of time to get adjusted, get comfortable as yourself, being in, a new place, a whole new country, and you know, experiencing it, as a single person before adding someone else, adding a relationship, and the dynamics that go along with making a relationship work, like on top of the blah blah, can't talk, the dynamics of integrating yourself into another culture. It's too much, I believe. Rhino Danger Edwards says, "G'day from Australia. You look soft." Yeah, I mean, what gave it away, Rhino? Was it the Hello Kitty cup? I mean, you can be honest. I can take it. James said, "You use my Healthy Vet." Yeah, and they changed the login, but yeah, I haven't logged in recently uh, to the VA. Uh, it's probably been a month last time I logged in. Pogi says, more like guys. It seems good. The story experience of Sir Ray. Like, and subscribe. Thanks, Pogi. Uh, G Dubs here. Gary Walker. Hold on. Who dat? Who dat? Who dat say they gonna beat them Saints? What up? Where'd you find Black Eyed Peas here? You brought them here, Ray. I brought Black Eyed Peas with me, G Dub. Um, I brought Black Eyed Peas and limas and pinto beans. Uh, sometimes sometimes it's hard to find, you know. Well, I know I've never seen. Well, I don't think I've ever seen lima beans either. I haven't really seen dried pinto beans. I have seen kidney beans in the Philippines. Over at the Robinsons near my place, I've seen red kidney beans, but I haven't seen them recently. So hopefully, when I do, I'm gonna buy them, whether I'm planning on making them or not, just because they're there. Uh, Vanilla Gorilla, what's up, Martin? Martin says, "Hey Ray, NSK, what up, Unc? Hope you well, my boy. Doing good, nephew. Uh, just chilling. How are things in New Zealand? Is it cold over that way? Let's get this chat caught up. Is it cold in New Zealand right now, NSK? It's not too bad right here. It's it's actually a really good temperature for me. Pogi said, "I know, Sir Ray, no one perfect in this world, but in some other province or Visayas region, in Mindanao. So many expats there are doing settle with a Filipina housewife or girlfriend. Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, they, again, like I'm a big proponent of, you know, Filipinas. I think they make like great partners. But, you know, I plan on staying completely single until like I'm comfortable. I mean, I'm comfortable being in the Philippines, but you know, where I feel like I don't need anybody to survive in the Philippines, then I'll add somebody to my life. You know, I don't want to add a woman and then, you know, have her lead me around on how to do things. Like, you know, that makes it more like a mother and child type dynamic, and I'm not looking for that. I'm a grown man, and like I can, you know, I can figure out how to get things done myself, and when I do, you know, then it'll be okay for me to find a woman that I can take care of and is not just taking care of me. Like, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not. James said, you have to take care of yourself before you take on a relationship. Absolutely. James gets it. James, my brother, by the way, but he understands. NSK -2 degrees at the moment. That's Celsius, isn't it? So that'd be like, you know, Westerners Fahrenheit. Like 0 is 32, so that would be like probably around 20, 27, 28 degrees. Pretty cold, NSK. Uh, Jessa's making smiley faces. Labrina Mix Vlog, touch yourself, Naling Saray. Wait. I don't know what you're asking, Labrina. Uh, Naling. Touch yours. I have no idea. Like, you want me to touch myself? Ooh. I don't know. Bogey said, I am being concerned, you know, that take your time, think twice, and be comfortable what you have, and always take care when it comes to health issues. Absolutely. Why is everybody talking about my health? Do I look unhealthy? Like, I don't know. Just said, okay, Ray, be single. Yeah, I am. I'm going to stay single until I am uh, until I feel comfortable being in a relationship. Um, you know, I'm telling everybody watching this vlog, I am not looking for a girlfriend. Um, you know, that's how it is. Poggy said you're super healthy. I don't know about super healthy, Poggy. You know, I can definitely be in better shape. You know, dancing around the other day, you know, that just proved to me that I, you know, can be in better health. It's like, yeah, I can move like that, but, you know, not for a long time. I get tired. Just said I heard what you said. Okay. Well, I mean, if I appreciate you being here on the vlog and listening in, you know. Let's see. Anyway. I guess I could tell another story. Let's see. What is a good story? Okay, I'll tell the story. I don't know if you guys know who Catherine Zeta-Jones is. She was in a lot of movies, but the actress Catherine Zeta-Jones. I was driving a taxi in Shreveport, Louisiana, and there was a hotel downtown that used to always call me exclusively when they had somebody that needed to go somewhere. And they filmed a lot of movies at the time in Shreveport. It's kind of like a mini movie. It was like Hollywood South. And but they would call, and one day they called me and they said, hey Ray, can you be here pretty quick? And so I knew something was up. And I said, sure, no problem. I'll be there in 5 minutes. And I pulled up, and this, lady got into the back seat, and there was this restaurant. It was, it's probably about 25 minutes away from the hotel, but it was it was kind of a high-end restaurant, and they had like a little shop in the restaurant that sold, all kinds of different cheeses and different wines. And she wanted to go to this shop in this restaurant to buy some cheese and wine. And so we took off, and we're talking, and we ended up, we talked about different places we had been in Italy. I think we got on that subject because, I asked her, what she was doing in town, and she said they had to refilm some parts in a movie she was in called Playing for Keeps. And I said, oh, okay. I'd never heard of the movie, and I just thought she was just a, B-list actress. And she was talking about the director, and he was an Italian director. And then so we started talking about Italy and, different places that we had been in Italy, and, what we liked best, and just having a conversation. And so we get to the restaurant. We had been chit-chatting. We get to the restaurant. And back at this time, that's when like the iPhone just came out, and it looked like a brick. It was like that thick and, small, because it was still back in the days when cell phones were trying to be as small as possible. So get to the restaurant, and I get on my iPhone on IMDb and looking up the movie Playing for Keeps, and I'm scrolling through the cast, and I go all the way to the bottom, and the thumbnails are like really small. You can barely see the people. But I start at the bottom of the cast because I think she's a B-list actress, so I'm looking for a brunette, and I'm scrolling through the pictures, and I don't find anything that resembles. Anyway, she comes back out of the restaurant, and it's really cute. She's like showing me her wine that she got and her cheeses, and telling me like what wine pairs with what cheese, and like my opinion counts. So I'm like oohing and ahhing over her wine and cheese selections, and we take off, and I tell her, I say, because I had asked her when the movie was coming out, and she said she didn't know. And I said, while you were in the restaurant, I looked up the movie, and it says it's coming out in January. And she said, oh, okay. I'm in another movie that's coming out before that one called Rock of Ages with Tom Cruise. And, at that moment, I'm thinking, like, well, she must be like a really popular B-list actress if she's in all these movies. Because you got to realize, like, I haven't got like a really good look at her because, like, I'm driving. I'm not like turned around having a conversation, just glancing up at the rear view every once in a while. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And we're driving back, and we're chit chatting a little bit, and then one thing I'll never forget, because she at first she had like sunglasses on, but she had taken them off, and I was looking in the rear view mirror, and like our eyes met in the rear view mirror, and I said, I'm not one to withhold a compliment. So with that said, you have really friendly eyes. And she replied something to the extent of, they say the eyes are the window of the soul. And then I immediately shot back, well, you must have a really friendly soul then. And we laughed. Anyway, we finished up the trip, and I dropped her off at the hotel. And then I got somewhere and I parked. And then I got back on IMDb on my phone to look up Rock of Ages. And, as soon as I did, like when the cast popped up, it said Catherine Zeta-Jones. And I was like, yeah, she was in that other movie. And so I clicked on the thumbnail and like blew the picture up big. And I was like, oh my God, that was her. And so, and then I talked to the people at the hotel later that confirmed that's who it was. And so that's the story how I spent probably at least an hour just chit-chatting with Catherine Zeta-Jones. And I'm so happy that I didn't recognize her in the beginning, because then I don't believe our conversation would have been as natural. And like I definitely wouldn't have, tried to rizz up Catherine Zeta-Jones. But so that's a story of how I met Catherine. I've got stories about different celebrities. I used to drive a lot. Wait, well, okay, hold on. Let me catch up. All right, Labrina's laughing. Oh, you okay, you choose be single, wish you all that. Okay, Jessica. James said, "Remember when Bobby broke my leg? That was in Puerto Rico, I believe. Y'all were playing in some kind of. What was I, like maybe 3 at the time? Like I don't remember it. I remember the stories, but I remember y'all were in. I've got a question for you, James. Do you remember whenever I was like 4 or 5 years old, and you got me stung by a bee because you told me you would give me a penny if I caught the bee that was on the flower, and I reached down and grabbed the bee and it stung me? You remember that? James was mean to me when I was a little kid. Gary Walker, Catherine Zeta was and is smoking. Yeah, no, beautiful woman, and she's got just these warmest brown toned eye. Like, in person they're even more, I don't know. They're just really warm, and she's a genuine friendly person. Married to Michael Douglas. Yes, that's correct. Or was it? I think they still are. AMFR waving pink hands. Y'all subscribe to AMFR's channel. She does like a podcast where some AMFR. I'm gonna tell you right now. Sometimes it's a little much. There's like too many sound of. It's like a. I don't know. I'm trying to think how to describe it. It's like a game show, but when people come in, there's like applause and. And it's like it's good. I think it would be good like in moderation, but just over and over again, I think it's a little bit much. She's saying, "Hello, everybody. What's up, host?" Yeah, but she's a really fun lady, and y'all should check out her channel. Pogie pink hands to Gary Walker. Pogie pink hands to AMFR. Hoagie pink hands to James Harmon. G-Dub, Catherine Zeta-Jones, definitely better looking than my run-in with Phyllis from The Office. Yeah, I'm fixing to catch up, and then I'm gonna go say welcome, Bo, and Gita. LOL, don't remember. Yeah, James, we were in Virginia Beach. It was after we moved back from Puerto Rico. I couldn't have been more than maybe 4 or 5, and we were outside. We had that trailer in Virginia Beach, and was that Virginia Beach or Norfolk? I don't know. I don't remember. I was like 4 or 5. I remember like I had a lot of traumatic experiences in Virginia in like when we lived there, but one of them like I'll never forget. It was, it was one of those big fuzzy yellow and black bumblebees, and I just grabbed it. AMFR, thank you. Yeah, like I said, AMFR is great, and like I'm not trying to throw shade at all. Like I'm genuinely trying to give good advice, like what she does, like because uh, you're gonna attract the type of people that get you and enjoy your content, and so being different, like there's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, my only advice is, maybe just like sprinkle it in a little bit less so that it's more impactful. Like if it's just over and over again, it just becomes repetitive. But yeah, I think I'm caught up with chat. So yeah, other celebrity. I don't know, G Dub, if you're still. I don't know if you know who Anna Paquin is. She was, let's see, she was Rogue on X-Men, but when she was in Shreveport, there was a series on HBO called True Blood about vampires, and she was like the main character, blonde. She's got like a little gap between her tooth, uh, and like she was wet in a bikini in my back seat in the cab because I used to drive her everywhere when they were filming True Blood. Like her personal assistant had my number and would just text me like where to come pick her up. And one day she was like at a pool party, and it was kind of in the evening, and I picked her up from the house where the pool party was and took her to the house where she was staying. As a gated subdivision on a golf course, and her husband, because she was married to, I don't know if they still are or not, but the male vampire lead in True Blood, like they were married. I forget his name, but he was never with her. Like she was always by herself. So yeah, I drove her. Um, I'll tell the story about the time I met Lucy Lawless. Like I had coffee with her. I've met Jack Black. Um, uh, what's Owen Wilson's brother? Luke Wilson. I drove Luke Wilson. He was kind of drunk, and uh, he wasn't too friendly because there was like other guys with him, and they were actually kind of assholes at the time. But I forgive them because they were had some drinks. Who else did I drive? I drove one of the guys from Duck Dynasty. I can't remember which one. I didn't watch the show too much, but I drove him to the airport. I think that was when they were going. They did like a episode in Hawaii, and they were flying out of Shreveport to go somewhere to go to Hawaii. I drove Miss Louisiana. Not that big of a deal, but pretty much if you've ever watched the TV series Salem, it was like about witches. Drove pretty much all the cast of that and the director and writer of that show. There was a movie called Olympus Has Fallen, which was filmed in that area. they had like a big mock-up of the White House over in Bossier City that they blew up. But anyway, I drove like Asian stuntmen because you know it was like the North Korean terrorists were attacking the White House, and so like the majority of the stuntmen were Asian. Seemed like a lot of them were from Australia too. Like even the white stuntmen were from. It's like I don't know. I think stuntmen like Australia just produces stuntmen, but you know I drove all of them all around. That was a crazy bunch. But I've got lots of stories about when I was driving a cab. Let me get back to the chat. Poe, you want? Are you based in Philippines or what? AMFR, yeah, she's she's a Filipina. James Harmon, I remember sleeping cigs and going under the trailer to smoke, sneaking. Okay, I remember sneaking cigarettes and going under the trailer to smoke. Yeah, I didn't start smoking until later. I remember when we lived in Woodbridge, Virginia, when Dad worked at the Pentagon. We had that house and had the garage with the pool table, and I remember like smoking rolled up newspaper. I was probably I might have been like 11 or 12 at the time, but I was being cool smoking rolled up newspaper. But I don't remember when I actually had an actual cigarette. I don't know when that was. All right, Bogey's trying to riz up AMFR. I've been talking for a while, so I'm gonna sit back and take a couple sips of my coffee while y'all process everything I've been spitting out there. And who else did I drive? I mean, I've seriously got so many stories from, like, some of them is not safe for work. So, some of these stories had to be told in person if I ever meet any of you guys, ask me about some cab stories, because I definitely have them. AMFR Isabel Province. Okay. But yeah, we're getting up there where we got like 12 likes. Still got 8 likes to go before I tell my male stripper story. Let me think of some other story I can tell. I don't know. A lot of my best stories are stories I can't really tell on here. I've had some experience, like, you know, I got stories. I know James doesn't even know these stories. I've had some wild situations happen. Did you working on the farm with me and Bobby? What farm were y'all working on? I remember, you know, when we lived in Connecticut, we were near like a cornfield. I don't know if y'all worked on I remember we used to go play on the pond when it froze up. Host, excuse me, I need to prepare food for dinner. Enjoy your stream. Bye. Thanks for showing up, AMFR. G-Dub says 7 likes to go before I cut out. Yep, we gotta get a few more likes, and then I'm gonna tell my male stripper story. But yeah, James, I don't remember. I guess the short answer to your question is no, because I don't remember ever working on a farm. Do I look like I worked on a farm? I just, you know, I'm soft. The guy from Australia that came in the chat earlier, he told me straight up, what was his name? Rhino something. He was from Australia, and he told me that I looked soft. So. So there wasn't any farm. I did work. James, if you're still here, you remember Wayne when he had chicken houses? I remember staying down with Wayne and working when I guess I would have been probably 14 or 15. And I didn't last too long at the chicken houses. I mean, one thing, they stunk. Like, they stunk bad, but that wasn't my major issue. See, my job, like when I'd walk through the chicken houses, when the little baby chicks, like they're little baby chicks, really cute, baby chicks, right? But you could tell, like, when one of the baby chicks were sick. And what my job was to pick up the baby chick and knock its head on the side of the food trough and throw it in a bucket so it wouldn't get the other baby chicks sick. So my job was executioner of baby chicks. And like, I'm tenderhearted, and I couldn't last at that job very long. I believe anybody that could do that job for an extended period of time, there's something wrong with them. They got some Jeffrey Dahmer in them or something, because I couldn't have a job, for an extended period of time killing baby chickens. James says, car trip and baloney. See, and we had when we lived in Connecticut, we had a Chevy Chevette. For those of you know what a Chevy, it's a hatchback. It's a small little compact car. And I was probably like 12 at the time, but they would put me in the hatchback and then pack all of the stuff around me as like I had like a little nest in the back of the hatchback, and have to drive from Connecticut to Louisiana, like cramped in the back of a hatchback, like doing little puzzle books back there like this. And and we didn't we didn't have a whole lot of money, so we didn't stop, like at McDonald's or something on the trip. We would have like bologna and bread. If we were lucky, we had sliced cheese, but mostly it was just bologna, bread, and we'd have chips, and no mayonnaise, no mustard, just bread with bologna, and then you sprinkle some chips on there and squish it together to give it some crunch. And that's what I ate for, the whole road trip, was just bologna and chip sandwiches. And I still like bologna and potato chip sandwiches. The only difference is now I've put some Miracle Whip on there to give it some tang. But Rhoda, good evening, Rhoda. Let's see how many likes we up to. Rhoda should be putting a like, so we'll be at 14. We got about 6 more likes till I tell my male stripper story. Gino said it's raining here in Cebu. Rhoda said like done. All right. Yeah, it's been raining. I've watched some live streams from other places, and it's pretty much raining everywhere. It seems like. Like I said, it's been misting here, but not really raining. like I've said it before, like it doesn't really like rain in Tagaytay. Very rarely do we get like a heavy rain. And do do. So James James keeps coming on with just random words, and I know exactly what he's talking about. Again, James Harmon is my brother. He still lives in Louisiana, and hopefully they'll be coming to visit sometime. James, have you and Billy both got your passports yet? And have you figured out what to do with all your random dogs? James has a menagerie of dogs. Like unfortunately, one of his dogs died. They have a short lifespan. He had two Irish wolfhounds, and if you don't know what an Irish wolfhound is, I'm gonna have to stand up for this. But the Irish wolfhound, like its back is about that high. Like if it could stand, like, and it has, like, stood on its hind feet and put its paws on my shoulder, and its head is above mine. Like, they're really really big dogs. But they they are known to have some health issues. But one of his Irish wolfhounds, Gabriel, passed here recently, and like, he was a good boy. He was a good boy. R.I.P. Gabe. Let's see. Do you know now? Where is that Ray's dance move? Gary G Dub said, "What's the age difference with you and James Ray, other sibling?" James still working on it. Still working on the passport. Let's see. My sister Susie, I believe, is like 5 years older than me. So I think she's 61, and then James. I think James is 63. James, are you 63? And then, wait, Bobby can't be no, because I think that would make Bobby 65, but I don't think Bobby's 65. I think Bobby's. James, how old is everybody? G-Dub said Irish Wolfhounds are cool AF. Yeah, absolutely. Like, they're just a big, friendly dogs. I mean, they're big and furry and, like, just super lovable. Like, you'd be sitting there and they'll come and they'll just lay their head on your shoulder and just Bogey Sabu was the highest, has registered voters last previous election with a total of 3.5 million voters. That's way the running politician was a priority of province of Cebu, and Cavite was second for 3 million voters. Okay. So Cebu is getting the vote out. Rhoda, nice to know that you have a good relationship with your siblings. Okay, James, 63 on the 27th, Bobby 64. Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, I didn't think Bobby was 65 yet. So, yeah. So, to finish answering your question, Gary, my sister, I'm the youngest. I'm the baby boy. And Susie is, I believe, 61. And James is about to turn 63, Bobby 64. And then I have another brother, Wayne, that's what is it, 67? James, is it 67? I think. Is Wayne like three? No, James. Wait. Wayne is probably what, like 4 or 5 years older than you, I believe. Susie, how old are you? Susie's my sister. Susie Fetaplace is my sister. We're trying to figure it out. Let's see. Susie, you're 61, right? Wrote advance happy birthday to James. Yeah, I saw 61. Yeah, see, I was right. I know how old my sister is. Like that seemed like that shouldn't be a big deal, but but if you know how I am with like dates and birthdays, like I'm terrible. Like when did James say his birthday was? 27th. Yeah. See, like if you would have asked me before this stream, you know, terrible to say, but like I wouldn't be able to tell you James's birthday. I think, I think, I think, I don't know Bobby's birthday. I only know Susie's birthday because it's easy to remember. Because Susie was born on New Year's Eve. New Year's, she was January 1st, so I can remember Susie's. I can remember Susie's. One of her daughters was born on April Fool's Day, and she's a dork, so I remember her birthday because she's the April Fool baby. Then another one of her daughters was Valentine's Day, and then I remember my grandmother on my dad's side because she was born on leap year. But yeah, if you're not born on a major holiday, I'm probably not going to remember your birthday. I have Facebook to remember my birthday. Gary Walker says, "Hey James, Susie." Susie says, "Sarah." Yeah, I know Sarah. I know who Sarah is. Sarah's April Fools. I always used to joke with her, you know, at least try. Like she got wise a long time ago. I stopped trying to pull April Fool's jokes on Sarah because, like, she knows it's coming. So I can't get nothing over on her anymore. But, you know, I love my nieces. They're all my little dorks. And where are we at? 15 likes. He told me Rennie's birthday is February 25th. Yep. February 25th is my birthday. So it was, I think February is the month of lovers. So it only makes sense. Where are we at? 15 likes. All right, well, that's close enough. I don't even know if that's close enough. I'll start telling this story. Maybe I'll be at 20 likes by the time I'm through with it. Here's a story of, I don't even know if James and Susie have heard this story before, but this is the story of the one time that I was a male stripper. I was in college in Natchitoches, Louisiana. So I guess, I think I was probably like 19 years old. And I always hung out with girls. Like, I don't know, I just got along with girls. Wasn't, you know, like a dating thing, like I wasn't a player or anything. It's just, I always hung out with girls. And I didn't have a car. they were always my ride. Wherever we went, I rode with the girls. And we used to always go to this bar that was run, he was managed by a friend of ours that was, you know, older in college. And he had a, you know, job managing this college bar named Mike. And so one day that bar was having this like amateur male stripper competition. And, you know, the girls were going. And like, we came up with the plan. It's like, okay, I'll ride with you guys. And, you know, the little competition thing was like between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. I said, I'll ride with you guys, you know, have, you know, beer in the car, and I'll sit there and, you know, drink beer while you guys are watching the show, and then, you know, come in when the bar opens for everybody. That was the plan. So they all go into the bar. They went in early because, like I said, we knew Mike, the manager. So, you know, they went in early, and I'm sitting in the car, and, you know, and cracked my first beer, and I'm sitting in the car, you know, passing the time. And it was about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. I see all of them come walking out with Mike. Like, Mike's surrounded by this group of giggling girls. Like, I knew something was happening. So I get out of the car. Hey, Mike, you know, what's going on? And he said, hey, Ray, he said, the girls told me you were going to enter the male stripper contest. And I said, I'm going to do what? And he said, oh, yeah, they said you were going to. And then he started telling me, oh, you know, there's a $500 first prize and blah, blah, blah. And I said, Mike, I said, look at me. And see, like, when I was in college, like, I was super skinny. You know, I had ribs showing. I was skinny. I said, Mike, look at me. I said, you know what, I weigh like $140. I said, I'm not gonna win any kind of male stripper competition against, you know, these guys with abs and muscles, and, you know, it's like, I'm not gonna win. So there's the $500, you know, doesn't mean anything to me because, you know, I don't have the physique to be a male stripper. But he goes on undeterred, and he's going, oh yeah, you know, it'll be fun. They said, and everybody that participates gets free bar all night. I said, well, I'm in. And it's like, I'm a poor college student. Like, I get to drink free all night. You know, sign me up. So next thing I know, I'm behind the bar with a bunch of these other guys. We're putting baby oil on each other. And then we draw straws to see, like, who goes first. Guess who lost? So I am the first one that has to go out in front of this crowd of women to put on a male strip show, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I remember vividly, like, my stripper song. All right, it was Duran Duran, All She Wants Is. It's like, doom, doom, all she wants is. So anyway, it is lucky at the time, like, I switched to, like, boxers and boxer briefs, like, later in life. But back then I was still wearing, like, bikini brief underwear. And so at least I had that going for me. So I go out and the music starts playing, and, like, I've never had a problem dancing. I mean, you guys saw, like, I'll dance. And so, like, I'm dancing, and I am so glad of that experience, because if you're a man watching this and you've never experienced like over 100 women yelling for you to take your clothes off, you have not lived. You've not lived. So all these women, because they're hungry, they're thirsty. I'm the appetizer, because I'm me. I'm not the main course, obviously, as far as buffed man cake. I'm just this skinny little guy out there dancing around. But you know, I'm the first course, so like they've been ready all day for this. So like I get the full on, woo baby, shake it, shake all this stuff, and I dance around. Take my shirt. I go through the whole song. I'm down in my underwear, and I'm, trying to be sexy. I'm 19. I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, the song finishes. I go back out, and then I'm watching the next guy. And the next guy, he's going up to all these tables, and women are putting money in his shorts and like his underwear. And I'm like, what the hell? Because I didn't know you could do that. I mean, not only did I've never been a male stripper before, but I'd never even like watched like Magic Mike wasn't a thing at the time. So I didn't know how strip shows worked. I'd never been even to a strip club with women. Like I had no experience with how stripping worked. So anyway, I'm watching these other guys, and they're all going out and they're getting all this money from these girls. Like, I warmed them up. I'm the warm up. I didn't even get a cut. Man, guys can be greedy. But anyway, so after everybody performs, we all go out at one time. And so I made a beeline to the table that had my girlfriends and said, you guys are putting some money in my underwear because you got me into this. And anyway, so for the rest of the night, of course I drank for free, and I had all these girls coming up to me, and of course I didn't win. Spoiler alert. But I had all these girls coming up to me, and every single one of them said the same thing. It's like, out of all the guys, you were the best dancer. And so I said, well, I'll take that. And so that is the story of the one and only time that I was a male stripper. All right. Let's see. Let me. All right. Let's see. The local news. Ray, me back, Ray. You can never escape me. Mwahaha. All right, local noob. I know you like that dating. Okay. Rhoda's laughing. With all that dance moves, I can imagine you in the stage. That's laughing. Susie says Gary danced in New Orleans on a stage with his clothes on and got money thrown at him. Yeah, Gary was a good dancer too. Gary is Susie's husband, and and me and Gary are about the same age. In fact, Gary is just a little bit younger than me, and so we were coming up at the same time, and both of us, were into breakdancing. When it was first becoming a thing, like the early 80s breakdancing movement. Like I was, I used to be able to windmill and, spin around and like do all the stuff. I was a b-boy back in the day, in case y'all didn't know. Let's see, how many people in here now? Rhoda, thanks for sharing that unforgettable experience. Yeah, it was. And, I've always said, like I've said on here, probably, I'm sure, because it's one of my biggest life mottos. And that is life is about making memories, life is about making stories. Um, Same with money. Like, money is for making stories. Like, and if you go through your life and you don't have any good stories to tell, then you got a terrible life. And they don't always have to be good stories. They can be embarrassing stories, tragic stories, just, living life, having experiences and experiencing everything that life throws at you. Don't be afraid to try a new experience, whether it turns out for the good or for the bad. If there's a chance that a story is going to come out of it, you should do it, whatever it is. Uh, Susie said, "How was your day? How was the weather?" Uh, my day was pretty relaxing. The weather's good. Um, it's like 70 degrees right now. It's been kind of foggy, misty. It's been raining a lot of other places, but here it's just been kind of misty. I have the my window shut right now because it's kind of windy, and when it's windy, it rattles the window in the frame, and like I don't mind that when I'm by myself, but whenever I'm doing a live stream, like that clattering is just kind of annoying. So, uh, but yeah, my day's been good. I showed everybody earlier. Wait, let me turn this around. Oh, but I cleaned up a little bit, and I don't know if these shorts are still a little wet, and I washed my hat. I got it hanging up. Uh, I got the fan blowing to dry my clothes, and let me turn this back around. But yeah, it's been a pretty uneventful day. Um, Not a lot going on. Like I like it that way most of the time. You know, Again, life is about making stories, and in a little over 2 weeks, then I'm definitely going to be making stories. I'm going to be taking a trip down to Iloilo and Ackland and Rojas City, and having a lot of experiences down there, meeting people that I've been wanting to meet, and that'll be a good time. But until then, I'll just be laid back and no stress, just taking life as it comes. Let's see. James said, "Let's hear some beat bop." I don't know what the hell beat bop is. Are you talking about like beatbox? Like I can't beatbox. I was a dancer. I wasn't a beatboxer. And when you say b-boy, see James was too old for that generation. But b-boy is just someone that was in like the hip hop culture, and you know, it's b-boy was like a dancer, um, you know, break dancing. Susie says looks good. Yeah, I mean, I love it here. It's comfortable, and um, like I enjoy I enjoy being here. Uh, The only thing I ate today was I had some of my leftover black eyed peas. But that's okay because I weighed myself earlier and I'm at 84. I'm at 84 kilos. It was like the other day I was below 83, so that's no good. My goal is to get to 80 kilos, and for James and Susie, that's somewhere around 175 pounds. That's my goal weight. 6 foot, 175. And I will be happy when I get to 80 kilos. Rhoda said that sounds a lot of fun. New places, new friends, and new adventures. Yeah, no, I think it'll be awesome. Like, and you know, like, I'm gonna meet. I plan to meet Frank and if you guys aren't subscribed to any of these YouTube channels, just check them out. But Frankenfell is in Iloilo, and I'll meet up with them, and then I'll meet up with Gino and Dazzell and James and Karen. So it's Dazzell TV is Gino and Dazzell. They're in Ackland, and James and Karen Adventures, also in Ackland, and I'll have fun with them, and then I'll get to meet Mike from That Philippines Life, down in Rojas City. It's Mike and Kat, and that will be a highlight for me because, any of you that knew my story about like how I was, kind of depressed in life and found content about the Philippines. If you've watched that video, in that video, I specifically mentioned That Philippines Life. I used to watch him, when I was still in the U.S., not even planning to come to the Philippines. Like, it was part of the inspiration and motivation that like made the Philippines a draw for me. So that'll be a highlight for me, getting to meet him. James, break out and rap. Hello, James. I can't rap. I don't have any rap skills. Sometimes I barely talk straight. Plan editor. Long time no see because I had school. Well, I appreciate you being here. I try to, spread around. If I, see that you release a video, like I'll try to, like and comment on it to boost your engagement. But I appreciate you being here. Angel, good morning. Good morning, Angel. Angel's gonna be. I was just talking about like my trip down to Iloilo and Rojas City and Ackland next month, but then Angel is gonna be coming to Tagaytay with her husband in, I think it's October 29th. Angel. And they also want to go down to Rojas City, so like I'll make back-to-back trips down there because we'll hang out when they get here. They've become friends. Like whenever we get together and have some experiences together, I'm sure that they'll become good friends. But they're coming on a fact-finding tour about Tagaytay. James, I'll give beat 1 and 2. James, I can't rap. I can't rap. I don't know anything about rapping. I could. All right, here's your rap. All right. Give me the Ice Baby beat. All right. Rolling in my station wagon, windows down, tailpipe dragging. All right, there's your rap. There's your rap, James. Leave me alone about that now. I'm gonna say yes, sir. Yeah. Wait. Pogie, I missed. Let's eat Saray dinner time with my family. Okay, Pogie, enjoy your dinner. Um, Angel say yes, sir. Yeah, they're coming. Cherry, hello, Ray. Good evening. Good evening, Cherry. Angel said we're gonna be great friends. Can't wait to. Yeah, I know that. I can already tell. You know, we're gonna get along from our conversations, like, and you know, my conversations with Frank, like, we're just gonna click. You know, I mean, you kind of get a sense of people, and you know, you're my kind of people. You're kind of my kind of people, Angel. Uh, Poe, you're not a James. LMAO, good job. Like, and subscribe. Thanks, Pogie. Pogie's my cheerleader. I thought you were going to eat, Pogie. Are you like eating with one hand and commenting in the chat with the other? Multitasking. Angel said, absolutely. Yeah. Uh, and I feel that, I've had more personal interactions with, Angel and Frank, but, any of you guys, I keep telling you, and I don't, and especially if you've already done it and I haven't accepted you, or, your friend request, because, on for my Facebook page for the channel, I get a lot of random girls doing friend requests, and I was, because it was my YouTube channel, Facebook, I was just accepting everybody that sent me a friend request. And then I started getting all these Facebook Messenger, just hi, where are you? All, and it's I don't. I would I would check their Facebook profile, and they had 3 friends, and anyway, I just delete them and block them, and so I went through blocking all these random girls that had nothing to do with my channel, or didn't really know who I was. I just block, and then I kept getting more friend requests, and then I just stopped looking. So if you guys want to send me a friend request, give me a heads up so I can look for it and accept you. Because love to interact with any one of y'all. Bogey said, eating with bare hands. James did some kind of emoji that I have no idea what that emoji is about. Angel, that can be overwhelming. Facebook requests, no time for that. Just sent Frankie off to work. Okay. Fed him up and said, go make me some money. But yeah, that's I kind of got to the point where I just wanted to go through just denying every Facebook request, but then again, I didn't know who might actually be subscribed to my channel, so it would be kind of rude if they were a subscriber to my YouTube channel, and then I, uh, block their friend request. That wouldn't be a good look. So I just really haven't been looking at it at all lately. Let's see. Got to go. James says, got to go. Making coffee for Billy. See you tomorrow. All right, James. Yeah, I'll be around the same time. Angel said, made him a sandwich and a breakfast burrito. Yeah, see, you're gonna miss breakfast burritos. Well, I mean, you don't have to. but sometimes, like at the Robinsons here, like they don't call them tortillas, they call them wraps, and you can find wraps. They're not as big as the flour tortillas that we're used to. Um, I actually brought some back with me, the big grande ones, but a lot of times they don't have the regular wraps. They have like spinach wraps, and I guess it's okay, but it's not the same. But like well, you can figure it out. I mean, I've been figuring out as I go, like how to do Southern cooking in the Philippines. I'm gonna make some videos at some point. I'm definitely gonna be making some videos when I go to Ackland, because I already said I was gonna teach Karen from James and Karen how to cook some Southern dishes. Poggy saying bye to James. Yeah, 'cause I'm supposed to be teaching Karen how to make some Southern dishes. James is from Missouri, and technically that's the South, just like right above Arkansas. So, well, how long have I been on here? We're getting close to about an hour and a half, and I still hadn't reached 20 likes. But, and I'm, normally about the time I get to where I'm like about, 5 minutes from getting off, then like a whole bunch of people show up all at once. Whole new conversation breaks out. But yeah, my plan is to be on here maybe I should start out my live stream saying, hey, I'm only going to do a 5-minute live stream. And then like I'll get all kinds of people commenting because that seems to be the way it works. Like the other day I was about to end the live stream and, normally I'd last about an hour and a half and then I end the live stream. But yeah, that live stream ended up going like 3 hours, but and that was like my first live stream that I had kind of like trolls. Angel said, wonder if there's things there to make chili verde. I don't know. Like there's peppers here, but it's not the same peppers, so I don't know. I could probably give you some peppers to make chili verde, but they'd be kind of vinegary because I got see if it's gonna follow me. You're not following me. Why are you not following me? I'm over here. Come on over here. Because I brought a couple bottles of pepper sauce because and I haven't had any cabbage since I brought the pepper sauce with me, but that was the main purpose. I mean, you're not gonna find mustard greens and collard greens and turnip greens. You'll find sometimes it's hard to find spinach, but you'll definitely find cabbage. Sometimes it's hard to find lettuce, at least like iceberg lettuce. You can definitely find it at SNR. Wait. Tomatillos, pork, no peppers for me. Yeah, but chili verde. I'm sorry, Angela. I was thinking of salsa verde as like the green pepper sauce, salsa verde. I'm not even familiar with chili verde, but don't think I've ever made chili verde. Gina, Saray, hello. Hey, Gina. You see, Gina, you always come after like all the good stuff happened. But maybe that's a good thing because now you're gonna have to watch the replay because what you missed in the live stream is I told the story of the time that I was a male stripper. So you'll have to go back and watch the replay because I'm not telling the story again. Gina said, I missed the live stream, number 18 like. Yep, you didn't. I was just wrapping up and I was telling everybody in here, I said, you know, I normally, you know, kind of start wrapping up about an hour and a half. And whenever I get to where I'm about 5 minutes before I'm going to end the live stream, then a bunch of different people start showing up and whole new conversations break out. Just woke up, tired from the gym. Yeah, I put a like on your video. You were doing some exercise that looked like you were, you know, weight training and praying to Allah at the same time. It was like going down to the floor. But I was gonna put a comment, but I couldn't think of any kind of comment that was. I couldn't think of a good comment for the video. Angel said, "Whoa, Ray stripping. Alrighty then. Can't wait to tell Frankie." Yep. See, Angel, you're gonna have to go back, and you can fast forward through the live stream to find the part. But yep, I told the story. And then I told the story of. You should just watch the whole video. You know, let it play while you're doing housework. Because I mean, you don't have to look at me. You can just listen to the story. Gina says, thank you for supporting my videos. Absolutely. All right, Amy's here. Navy woman. And again, you guys, if you're not subscribed, hold on. I gotta stop I'll put me, add a moderator. All right, Angel, I put you as a moderator. That way now, I mean, I normally don't need very much moderation, but the thing with being a moderator is like moderators can click on each other's icon. Like, you know, you can wait, hold on, I gotta stop this thing from moving. Like you can say click on like, well, let's say Panda, and it'll bring this up where you can go to channel, or you go to channel, and then you can subscribe. I'm already subscribed, but with any of the other people in blue, pretty much everybody in blue has a channel, and we support each other. And I just made Angel a moderator. She just started doing YouTube, so I don't know that she's got a lot of videos out yet, but you know, you can subscribe to her channel and you know, give her some support. Let's see. Wait. Let's see. Where are we at? Hold it. Wait. Let me see. Let me catch up. Everybody saying hi to Amy. Maybe I seen your post with holding your rifle. Wow, nice. Amy, you be packing? What kind of rifle you got, Amy? It's brown out here, but I am trying to figure out your channel. Amy, join the club. I'm trying to figure out my channel too. I haven't figured it out. If you figure it out before me, let me know. Angel said, "Awesome, thanks, love that." Yeah, like I always believe in supporting, everybody that supports my channel and likes my videos and makes a comment. Like it helps the algorithm, and so I do the same back to their channels and encourage, us to have a community that is supportive of each other and you know help us all grow at YouTube. Rising water raises all boats. Yes, thank you. Poe, yeah, I admire you, Poe, being brave, Navy Woman Philippines, Navy as personnel. M16 rifle. Rhoda says hi to Amy. Angel Baker, can you find cranberry juice there? Probably at SNR. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen cranberry juice in like 7-Eleven. Let's ask the girls. Rhoda, Amy, Gina, do any of y'all know if they have cranberry juice in the Philippines? Or let's see, Dream and Future, Jessa, do you know if they have cranberry juice? SNR, right? Yeah, I think I was, 95% confident you could find cranberry juice at SNR. And when you come here, Angel, like we'll go to SNR, and it's a membership club like Sam's. The yearly fee is like 700 pesos, which is I don't know, something like 12 $13 for the year. So it's it's inexpensive, for the yearly membership. And then like I said, it's like Costco or Sam's Club or something like that. But they have a lot of like imported foods that you can't really find anywhere else. Let's see. Oh yes, M16 as it exists to our Navy to be used. M16, it's an old rifle, I think now. M41 or M4, the newest rifle used to our uniformed personnel. Amy said, "I'd like to be inspired by people, especially those single mom like me. It's never too late to learn new things in this world." Absolutely. You can always learn something new, Amy. Angel Baker, I saw cranberry juice in Robinson's Tagaytay. Yeah, maybe I wasn't looking. I don't think I've ever really looked in the juice section at the Robinson's that's right next to here. But when you're here, I'll show you the local grocery stores, the Walter Mart, the Hypermart, the Robinsons. There's more grocery stores in Tagaytay, but those are the ones that are kind of near me. The male can do anything, of course, the male can do. Amy say, yes, they have, but not 100% pure. Yeah, it's probably like a cranberry juice cocktail, maybe, that's like cranberry grape or a lot of the like the smaller juices, like even in the US sometimes you can't find just like plain cranberry juice. Yeah, Bogey. But yeah, I haven't been to the Robinsons lately, but next time I go, then I'll check it out. I'll do a reconnaissance run on their juice situation. But Ray and Walter Mart to Gaitai. I saw there my last visit. Okay. Uh, why were you looking for cranberry juice? But like, let's see, Angel, what is it? You got 20 likes, Ray. Awesome. Yeah, see, I was waiting. When I first started the live stream, I was saying, like, I was going to wait until I got 20 likes to tell my male stripper story. But it was taking too long, and I had people that were waiting and, had other stuff to do. So I did it at about 15 likes and hoping that I would get up to 20 by the time the story ended. Pogie said, "Ma'am, Navy woman was a truly great as a female beside too beautiful. She was also brave too." Yeah, like I respect like everyone, man or woman that serves their country. I think that's a valuable experience, and you can't. In a way, I believe you can't truly appreciate your country unless you've served your country in some capacity, whether it's in the military, in the government, something where you're contributing to the overall good of your country in whatever small way you can. And yeah, Amy says thank you to Pogie. Yeah, but that's just how I feel. I mean, everybody doesn't have to agree with me, but I believe if you're a citizen of a country, what was it, JFK that said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." Like if we all work together to make our country a better place, then it's better for everybody. It's Alpha Mart, other side of SMDC. Yeah, there's an Alpha Mart. There's, I'm in Wind Residence, and there's the Cool Suites, or Cool Suite Residence is like, whenever I show y'all the picture of like the green area by my condo, there's the smaller condos, and on the other side of that condos, there's the place where I get my water, Aquabest, and there's a laundry and an Alpha Mart, and Alpha Mart it's kind of like 7-Eleven, but it's closer to 7-Eleven, and 7-Eleven always normally has what I need. But anyway, I think we pretty much covered all the possible places where it might be possible to get cranberry juice. But so Angel, what was the deal with cranberry juice? Do you like what is that, Sea Breeze, or I don't know what like cranberry vodka? Isn't that a Sea Breeze? Hoagie, when I graduated to my high school, my dream's supposed to be a military personnel, but we don't have plenty of money. I pursue to make a job as hotel maintenance, various job I experienced in my past. Yeah, Pogie, I mean, life kind of leads you in the path that you're supposed to go on. Angel, I'm not picky on the brand, just like it with vodka. Yeah, that's what I thought. Isn't that called a Sea Breeze, like cranberry and vodka, or a Bay Breeze? I know there's some kind of breeze with cranberry and vodka. I don't know the difference between a Sea Breeze and a Bay Breeze. I don't drink vodka. And no offense to any guys that drink vodka, but I always used to say that like vodka is girl liquor, because like vodka on its own doesn't really have any kind of flavor to me.
So you always have to add, and normally, like you add like fruity stuff to vodka. There's like all these fruity drinks that's made with vodka, and so it just seems kind of girly. Uh, Angel says sounds about right, and I love lemon in it also. Yeah, and you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. And I mean, I'm not one to be preaching on, masculinity whenever, I got a Hello Kitty coffee cup. But when it comes to alcohol, I'm kind of a snob. Like I've said before, like I only like, kind of top shelf liquor because I don't drink super often. So when I do, like I drink it neat, um, like just in a glass, no ice, and just sip on it. So I like, like really good whiskey or like really good gin. Uh, but most time, like with gin, like I like a gin and tonic with, you know, lime juice, or I've had it with calamansi juice. Vodka originated from Russia, Surrey. Um, yeah, I mean that's what it's where it's famous for the brands. Vodka is a potato based alcohol. Like it's alcohol that's made from uh, you know fermenting and distilling potato, and in colder regions like potatoes are more common. So you know they you know um, like whiskeys are made from like grains. You can have like rye whiskey or wheat whiskey, or if you use corn, uh, like you can use corn, they can have different ratios, but for it to be a whiskey, it's got to be 51% grain. For it to be a bourbon, which a bourbon is a different type of whiskey, and bourbons are normally sweeter. Bourbons have to be at least 51% corn uh, in the distillery to be considered a bourbon. So that's my little lesson on whiskey. So Ray, I'll see you to your next live stream because now here brownout and my phone data is running out. Get for guys. Doesn't like to stay safe, all you guys. Good night. Appreciate you coming by, Amy. Yeah, don't use up all your data on me. Uh, like I hope the brownout doesn't last long, and uh, you know you get power back. Cossack vodka sounds Russian name that was invented because the cold weather of Russia, the effect of that would balance body temperature. Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense, Bogey. Angel saying good night. Bogey, bye, everyone. Take care, Poe. So yeah, where are we at? I need to before y'all come. I had to figure out a shopping list. Tell y'all what to bring. What I'm getting close. Oh, I know one thing. Uh, that y'all can pack is some Louisiana hot sauce. I keep forgetting to get it. Like you can get Tabasco here, but a lot of times I just like Louisiana hot sauce better. I know some people like Crystal, but for me, like I don't know, I just like Louisiana hot sauce. It's like my favorite. I mean, Tabasco is made in Louisiana. Tabasco is made in Avery Island, Louisiana. And I remember one time I went to the Tabasco plant in Avery Island, for a tour and all that. And um, while I was there, they had like a pepper plant, and it was surrounded by chicken wire, and it was like, you know, had like a warning sign, you know, don't eat the peppers. Do I look like a guy that pays attention to warning signs? Anyway, um, me and this other guy, you know, got a pepper. He was like, you know, who can eat the pepper? And I picked the Tabasco pepper and then put it in my mouth, and I think I chewed it like 2 or 3 times, and then instantly regretted. I spit it out, and like my lips were burning, mouth, I had tears running down my eyes, and I ran into the factory. We were looking for like a water fountain or something. Finally found a vending machine, and I got some orange juice, and I was like soaking my lips in orange juice to try to get the burning to stop. I couldn't breathe. Like I was short of breath because it was so hot. And, you know, I mean, you know, anybody that's used like Tabasco sauce, you know, they're like, oh, it's not that hot. Yeah, but you know, you got to realize that that's diluted with a lot, like lots of vinegar and other things, but just the straight pepper. And see, Tabasco has its own hybrid pepper, like it's the Tabasco pepper. And if you looked up, there's a scale that measures like hotness of peppers. It's called the Scoville scale, and you know, like Tabasco peppers are like above habaneros, and like it's you know, not at the very top, but it's, you know, up there a pretty good ways. I forget uh, how many Scoville units it was, but it was, anyway, it was something that I do not recommend. And I also saw, like, when we went to Avery Island, saw the most alien looking grasshopper I've ever seen in my life. That grasshopper was like that big, and it was like orange and red and green and yellow. It was like multicolored grasshopper that was like that big. Crazy grasshopper. Let's see. Remind me to bring Louisiana hot sauce. I will. Yeah. And I'll, you know, got lots of time before y'all are actually, you know, in the packing to come stage. But I'll, you know, if I can think of anything, I'll let you know. I'll give you a shopping list. We'll make a trade. I tell, I'll you know, like Frank's suitcase can just be full of food items, and then when Frank comes here, I'll take him to the Ukai Ukai store and just outfit him, you know, buy him a whole new wardrobe for like $10. And I know the I know the Filipinos laughing because they know what an Ukai Ukai store is. Bogey, wow, I'm hungry again. Imagine I'm in the middle of nowhere because very rare I taste an American food. Yeah, okay, we're starting to lose people. Nah, let's say how. Okay, now I'm getting close. Now I'm getting close to 2 hours. So Angel said that would be great. Yeah, but uh, and you'll like going to Ukai Ukai store. It's UKAY, and a Ukai Ukai store is, you know, kind of like a secondhand clothing store, but they're everywhere, and like you can get a you know, whole new outfit for next to, you know, a little bit of money. Pogies, are you adopter of Filipino food? Saray, have you ever tasted local food? Yeah, we've talked about this before, Pogi. I told you, like, my favorite, you know, all my favorite Filipino foods. You know, um, it's, you know, like all the Filipino foods together. Uh, Probably not my favorite, but I do have Filipino foods that I really like bulalo, I like lomi. I like sizzling sisig. I like, of course, lumpia. What else? I like lechon. I actually had it for the first time the other day. I went to breakfast and had eggs with lechon and, of course, garlic rice and coffee and ripe mango shake. And that was a delicious breakfast. Uh, Angel, we're going to have to go there for breakfast. You guys will love that. It's delicious. Angel says, I love lumpia a lot. Yeah, lumpia with like the sweet chili dipping sauce. It's good stuff. And I made, whenever I was in Louisiana, I went to, the Asian market was basically a Filipino store. It was like everybody in there that was Filipino. And, bought some lumpia wrappers and, attempted to make my own lumpia when I was living in Louisiana. And it came out really good. But I made mine kind of like a Cajun Filipino fusion because, I put Cajun spices in with my ground pork and shredded carrot and onion and garlic, and then Cajun flavors, and wrapped my lumpia and fried them, and they turned out really good. They were delicious. Pogi said, yes, sir. Uka uka means a secondhand product from abroad, like shirts, shorts, pants, so more and very affordable. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Um, you know, that's I think for most Filipinos, like that's the major source of wardrobe, like uka uka. Get like clothes from all over the world. Pogi says adobo, pancit, sisig, sinigang, pork, sour pork, and Filipino barbecue, etc. Yeah, and I haven't I won't I can eat adobo, but it's not my favorite. Not any that I've had so far. A lot of people say adobo is their favorite, but I've had chicken adobo and pork adobo, and I don't know. I think it's because I'm not really big on like soy sauce and any dishes that are that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? The kind of premier soy sauce is like the main umami flavor. It's not my favorite. Same with like pancit. I don't like the noodles. Or I think they have there's Canton pancit, and I don't remember the other one. And I can't remember the one I like. One has like the really small noodles, and I don't like that as much as the one with the bigger noodles. I like the bigger noodles. And I've never had sinigang. People always talk about sinigang, and like I'll try it. I'm not, but I can't say I don't like it because I've never tried it yet. But where are we at now? Got like about 1 minute before I'm gonna call this whole operation to a halt. Like I appreciate all you guys, Pogi. Like you've been here from the start to the end. I appreciate it, man. I can't do my Houdat thing because my Houdat hat is still drying. I washed it earlier and have it drying. Hold on, someone said something. Pogi adobo, its original form from Spanish country. They called it adobo, and Filipinos added some condiments like vinegar, pepper, but the original ingredients that is onion, soy sauce. Yeah. Angel says sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Yeah, I'll have to look it up, but I don't think that there's any kind of bed bug problem in the Philippines. So that's a good thing because like bed bugs are like the worst thing in the entire world to me. Like I've experienced bed bugs before, and I've always said like if I ever lived in a place that, like if I had a house and it had bed bugs, I'd burn it down. I'd just burn it down because bed bugs are the worst thing in the entire world. So yeah, I'm not gonna let any bed bugs bite. Um, but I'll finish up. Like I said, I appreciate all y'all coming by, listen to me ramble about random stuff and entertaining me. Let's see. Angel, I would burn it down. Also, I've never experienced them, but I'm not willing to. Yeah, no, it's like, like it's the worst. I'm gonna rant about bed bugs for a minute because they're the worst things in the entire world. Um, you know, let me tell you some scary facts about bed bugs. All right, fact number one: doesn't matter if you have a clean house, dirty house, doesn't matter. Like a 5-star hotel can have bed bugs because it's about bed bugs are there for their food source, and bed bugs are the only creature, insect, uh, animal, everything living. Bed bugs are the only thing whose primary food source is humans. The only one. Like, thanks God. Like God created everything, and bed bugs are the only things that whose primary food source is humans. Like a bed bug won't bite a dog because they don't like fur. Um, and the way, the reason why they're bed bugs, like because they hunt by smelling carbon dioxide. So like when you're sleeping, you're breathing out more carbon dioxide while you sleep than while you're awake. And of course, while you're awake, you're moving around, but you're laying in one spot, just sending out this carbon dioxide signal that's attracting bed bugs if they're in the area that they know it's feeding time because there's a single source of carbon dioxide. Bed bugs can live up to a year without feeding. So, like a house could be completely abandoned for a year. Someone moves in and boom, they're right there. Like that's scary. Something that can live for a year without eating and just waiting. Um, what else is scary about bed? Oh, um, only about 50% of people are allergic to bed bugs. The other 50%, a bed bug, like they put out like an anesthetic numbing thing when they bite you, and a bed bug, someone that's not allergic, a bed bug could go and feed on that person and then wander off to wherever they're holed up, and the person wake up and never know that they were a meal because they're not itchy and all that. Me, I'm allergic. So if a bed bug bites me, like I get itchy and I wake up. So, and I'm glad that I am allergic because like, like to me, that's just horrifying that I could be being a meal every night and never know it. Like, how scary is that? Anyway, that's my rant about bed bugs. And the reason I know so much about them is because whenever I had them, like I read everything that there was to possibly know about them because I wanted to get the hell out of my life. And the only way to really kill them is high heat. So if you go on a trip that there is even a small chance that you would get bed bugs. Like you go stay at a hotel, you know, you got your suitcase open because they'll crawl in there, and like I said, they can live for a year, so they could just travel in your suitcase for, you know, weeks, and then you get home and unpack, and then boom, you got bed bugs. Terrible. Anyway, so when you get home from a trip, then unpack all of your clothes outside, put it in a bag, then you wash your clothes and put it in the dryer, because the high heat in the dryer will kill any bed bugs if there happen to be bed bugs there. High heat, that's the ticket. Anyway, I'm done ranting about bed bugs. Terrible. Oh yeah, I think you need to move Surrey from a resident area, a bit urban areas. Yeah. Ooh, I'm not excited about breakfast anymore. Sorry for being a downer, Angel. But yeah, that was my rant about bed bugs. I hope nobody ever has to experience that. It's terrible. But I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go lay down and try to stream somebody's live stream while I fall asleep, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one. You guys are the best. I love you.